I have no idea where this will lead us, but I have a definite feeling it will be a place both wonderful and strange.
I'll see you again in 25 years. Meanwhile,
Dramatically bursting through a set of double doors to deliver completely monotone dialogue. I'm Jasmine.
And waiting for the rigor mortis to leave head to toe, toe to head, I'm Mel's.
Welcome to Damn Fine TV's Twin Peaks Rewatch.
This week we're covering Season 2, Episode 15, sometimes known as Slaves and Masters, or as we're calling it, well, at least Albert is back, and he does have a great impression of Gordon, and he hugs Harry. And look, we know this title is super wordy, but the superfluousness of it, superfluousness, leave that in.
Superfluousness.
Okay, let me start right there. But the superfluousness of it seems to fit well with the vibe of the episode.
Listeners, replacing the quiet elegance of the dark suit and tie with the casual indifference of muted earth tones is a form of fashion suicide, but call us crazy? On you it works. Now let's rock.
This episode first aired on February 9th, 1991. It was written by Harley Peyton and Robert Ingalls and directed by Diane Keaton.
Mel's, I have a question for you. Have you ever seen the Netflix show Nailed It?
Is that, no, you know what I'm thinking of? Pinterest fails. So I don't think I've seen Nailed It.
You know, I don't think you're that far off with Pinterest fails, though. So for you and any listeners that don't know what Nailed It is, basically it's a reality baking competition show where amateur bakers are tasked with making these elaborate desserts, and they only have a certain amount of time to do it in. So often what they end up making is a very funny, pathetic version of these elegant cakes and cookies and everything. But they have all the things that they need. They just, they're kind of, the timing is to their detriment. So I think that this episode is a Nailed It sort of, I could see it being a Nailed It dessert. It has all of the elements. It's Twin Peaks, but it's really just this like underbaked, fondant melting everywhere, scary version of a beautiful cake.
Yeah.
That's my analogy for this episode.
I love that because all I have now, this picture in my mind is, and yeah, so I was right on the Pinterest fails type thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Where it's like a reality or like expectation versus reality, right? So you had this like
exactly
cool Barbie cake for your 5-year-old's birthday, and then all of a sudden it's like she looks like Carrie, Yes.
Yes.
Like,
it looks like it's from a horror film. Yeah, it just didn't work out. And so on Nailed It, you often have to, cut the bakers a little bit of slack because they're amateurs and they're, given this crazy time deadline, which is never enough time to make the extravagant thing that they're tasked with. So I do want to cut Miss Diane Keaton a little bit of slack because I think that this script was not a lot of fun. There's a lot of plot lines that had to be wrapped up. There's some funky stuff happening that I don't think is the most fun for a director to come in and do. But, oh man, she takes a big swing and it's a big miss because I think in my head, Diane Keaton watched 5 episodes of Twin Peaks and then took elements of each of those episodes and mashed them together to make this episode because there's a clear effort to be Lynchian. Mm-hmm. She does a lot of weird, quirky things. We'll get into it as we go scene by scene, but there's a lack of cohesion to all of those quirky things that coming from David Lynch is authentic, but her trying to mimic it, again, it's the Nailed It underbaked cake. It's the no-name version. There's an element of just like, oh, you're trying so hard, and it just does not come off well.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, I mean, it hurts my heart because I love Diane Keaton. She is a treasure. Like we have to protect her at all costs. But lady, if there was
I
ever
don't like her.
what?
I specifically don't like her because of the Woody Allen stuff. Like, I just
Okay.
can't separate that for me.
Okay, and I will say I totally agree with you on that. I do not like Woody Allen. I mean, I don't think
I
I
mean,
have
yeah.
to even go there with that. I'm just gross.
No.
Like we don't even have to go there.
Yeah.
But also the Woody Allen films that I have seen that like I don't like Annie or whatever. Like I don't like.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest, there are a couple of Woody Allen films that it pains me too that he has to be the way that he is because sometimes it's like hard to like I hear a lot of people say you have to separate like the artist from their
The
work.
art. Yeah.
Sometimes it's I understand what they're saying, but then also for people that don't want to do that, you don't have to do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But so it pains me because there are a couple of his films that I'm like, these were so good, but I won't watch them again because I'm just like, I'm not gonna give it that I'm just not gonna do it, in the
Right.
story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, when I think of Diane Keaton, what I really think of is I loved her in The Godfather. So I mean, like I love like that Diane Keaton, and then I also First Wives Club is just like a staple.
Classic. I mean, such a great film. Yeah. And I try to like keep that Diane Keaton in my brain, and that's all she is. But at the end of the day, she's more than that. But,
that's true. And so that Diane Keaton is the one that we have to. That is a treasure. I guess I should clarify and say. But
yeah.
Regardless, yeah, no, this was it. Like I was saying, if there's a flub outside of Woody Allen in this instance, but on your resume, it would have to be this because I'm just like, woo, girl, what was happening here? Okay.
Yeah, it's tough because I mean, it's not all bad. There's some good scenes in here, and I think that, it just benefits from it seems like with Coop and Albert and Harry, I mean, that's just the more interesting side of the plot. Like there's a lot of wild ride in this episode, like a lot of that. And I get it, they're wrapping up that plot. We're also getting the ending of the Civil War plot. So that's what I mean, where like she was tasked with a script that I just can't. I would hate it. I'd be like, excuse me, David, like, can I get a different one? Like, this one sucks. So I can cut her some slack, but yeah. I think this is the worst episode of the show.
I'm going to have to agree. And I have a button for that. Okay, had two buttons for that. But I mean, like, honestly, I feel like, okay, all right, hold on. Let me get my bearings here. Because I'm going to be honest, when I was putting all of my notes together and I was really like combing through, I started not changing my thoughts because I still threw the trash flag on it. I mean, we're still throwing that hard and heavy.
Yeah.
But I also found some of the, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it has got nothing to do with the Marshlands or Marshville or whatever we want to call it. Now, I didn't find any redeeming parts in that, but some of the Civil War stuff, there were just moments where I was like, and maybe it's because it was the time where I was like, this is wrapping up and this is going to be over. So big sigh of relief. But there were moments where I was like, actually, I don't feel bad for laughing during some of these scenes because I feel like it was just supposed to actually be comical, and maybe they were taking off of the just what is the word I'm looking for here? Just the not uncouth, but just the ewness of like anything to do with the Civil War. Anyway, we've talked about that. I know so much. So maybe for me in those moments, I got some laughter because it was also relief wrapped up in that, where I was like, whew, it's over with. And we've got kind of it's actually a little bit comical the way we're wrapping it up. And I'm fine with that. Yeah. But again, overall, I know I'm repeating myself here, but just, this was one of those episodes where I couldn't wait for it to be over. I was just like, let's be done.
Honestly, yeah, which was such a bummer of a feeling. And even putting together my notes, like I would do like 3 scenes and then be like, I need a breather. Like this is a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, I took a lot
There's
of breaks.
only so many things I can say about the direction and about the scene before I just get bored. Like, but
Exactly.
hopefully we won't get bored here.
No.
I'm sure we won't.
Well, the good thing about the two of us, I'm just gonna like toot our own or like blow our own.
Toot.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna blow our own trumpet, toot our own whistle, and I'm gonna blow our own flute. I don't know. I'm gonna inflate our heads a little bit and say if there's anything that we are masterful at, it is at least making a terrible episode good for this.
Yes.
So we're gonna
Yes. I agree.